Oh, hello, everybody. I don't know why this camera quality looks so terrible today, but it does. It looks bad, but that's okay. We're going to just plow through whether or not the camera quality looks kind of crappy. Let me see if I can do something real quick. Touch up my appearance. Does that work? Am I a beautiful lady now? Look at that. Look, I can like smooth my skin out. What do you like that? You like that? Now I look a little younger, don't I? My imperfections are all smoothed out. Still a little grainy, but I look about 5 years younger. Let's keep it. How's everybody doing? I hope you're all doing well. It's Thursday. It's March 13th. Thursday the 13th, as they like to say. I believe some people like to say Thursday the 13th. Very superstitious day. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. I hope you got some things you want to throw in the chat, some things that you want to talk about. I think there's some fun things to talk about this week. Of course, there's the Stephen A. Smith thing, which I just think is hilarious. And I guess we can start there. I use that as the thumbnail for this week's show because Stephen A. Smith, he is just such a clown. But he knows what he's doing. He's playing the attention game. We've talked about Stephen A. Smith a bunch before. I even recall when we had Diehard Eru on the show. And I think he said he like blocked Stephen A. Smith or Stephen A. Smith blocked him. But you start to understand why. And yeah, see, like Bobby Digital saying, did you shave? I look 6 years younger. Exactly. It's this filter. I look very young now. But yeah, the whole thing about Stephen A. Smith is he just got a massive contract from ESPN because people love watching Stephen A. Smith wax poetic and scream. As much as you, the discerning basketball fan, maybe doesn't enjoy it, the reality is the world does. And the reality is that's what gets the clicks and that's what gets the views. Whether it's correct or incorrect isn't really important right now because that is the driving force. And it's kind of problematic too, because it's just going to be what everyone else copies to get their name out there and to get paid the big bucks. Stephen A. Smith just signed a massive contract. And I think you would probably think that most people who really enjoy sports broadcasting and the art of it and just the intellectual side of it probably don't like Stephen A. Smith very much, but that's not what pays. So anyway, having said that, Stephen A. Smith last week gets confronted by LeBron James. And Stan says that Stephen A. is cringe and part of the reason why NBA ratings are down. Look, I think that some of the headliner talking heads are pretty poorly chosen. I mean, even Shaquille O'Neal, who I find entertaining, but it's very common to see Shaq or Charles Barkley have as much knowledge of teams like the Detroit Pistons that I do. Like, if you ask me who the Detroit Pistons coach is, I'll be honest, I don't know who it is. I mean, I know now because of this whole thing with Shaq. But if I'm being paid millions of dollars to know who the Detroit Pistons basketball coach is and to watch them play, I would sincerely hope that someone in my position would know that information and would follow the game and would follow the teams. And some of these guys, they just coast, they just completely coast on their name and on their history of just being NBA personalities for the last 20 years. And so people like Barkley, people like Shaq, they don't even have to know stuff. It's like it's almost entertaining to the masses that these guys don't know. They don't know NBA basketball. They don't know the personnel on these teams. They've had a segment on TNT before about who does he play for because these guys don't know who's on the different teams. So it just shows you like that's what people want to see. That's what people want to engage with. The easiest way of really thinking about it is if you think about like social media, if you think about TikTok, if you think about what gets eyeballs, that's all that matters. And we talked last week about Stephen A. Smith debating with Kai Cenat on ESPN. That's because that's what gets clicks. That's what gets attention. And that's what the majority care about at this point, which is a shame. So anyway, Stephen A. Smith, he goes to the Laker game, and during the game, LeBron James kind of squares up right in front of him and says, you know, stop talking shit about my son, basically. And and the funniest thing about this whole interaction. So first of all, if you see the interaction, LeBron James is like towering over Stephen A. Smith, of course, and Stephen A. Smith is just standing there like a wet pillow, just like with his hands in his pockets, just like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, you imagine he's saying that. The ridiculousness of it though is then of course Stephen A. Smith uses this and parlays it into tons of attention and tons of clicks and tons of guest appearances and basically a world tour. Stephen A. Smith. I believe Stephen A. Smith is now selling sold out arenas to talk about this interaction. But the joke is that as soon as it happened the next day when he was on First Take, the first thing he said was, I wasn't going to talk about this. I didn't want to talk about this. I wasn't going to talk. Like, you bullshitter. You bullshitter. You will literally talk about anything. You will literally rank Pokemon. Like, we've seen the videos, Stephen A. Smith. You will literally talk about anything. So to think that there's even a chance, why is my camera all fuzzy? To think there's even a chance that Stephen A. Smith wouldn't talk about an interaction with LeBron James. In this case, it was on TV for everybody to see, or somebody filmed it. He would have been talking about it if it was anywhere. He's such a bullshit artist. And these kind of guys just keep getting rewarded, though. And I think that sends a bad message. I guess what I'm trying to say is take a tiny fraction of what you're paying Stephen A. Smith and sponsor Tandy Time instead. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway. Yeah, just very cringe. It's cringe, honestly, from both of them. It was so cringe with Stephen A. Smith going on the Gilbert Arenas show after that and being like, he goes on there, he's like, I thought it was weak. I thought it was bullshit. He explained that he understood that LeBron James was upset with him as a father. So how is that weak or bullshit? I think it's not weak and it's not bullshit. I think it was wrong for LeBron James to do that, especially in the middle of a game. I think it doesn't reflect well on LeBron James. He should be the stoic face of the league, so-called best player in a generation, right? You can't really disagree with that. He should be doing his job on the court. He should not be creating any kind of a spectacle off the court. Like, would you ever think that Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan or anyone really, like, you could just go down the list. Would you think any of those guys would ever step away from the huddle in the third quarter and go square up in front of a sports personality? Knowing how full of shit Stephen A. Smith is, you would take all that attention and put it on yourself and go talk to him in the third quarter of a game? of a pretty important game. Like every game right now is pretty important right now for the Lakers, is it not? And you would go and do that? That just reflects really badly on LeBron James. So they both look stupid. They both look cringe. LeBron James should have just let it go the way he has done for years, as people like Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless have made a career of shitting on LeBron James. And he just has always let it go. That's who you are, LeBron James. Even Kevin Durant, I mean, Kevin Durant will snap back at you on Twitter, but I don't think he'll stop the game or leave the huddle in the third quarter to go talk to you. And that's where LeBron James just doesn't look as kind of stoic and legendary of a personality, of an NBA star, as I feel like he should. He shouldn't have done it. So they both look stupid, and it's embarrassing that Stephen A. Smith is now parlaying this when the first thing he said was that he didn't want to talk about it. So it just shows what a bullshit artist Stephen A. Smith truly is. He is a bullshit artist. And that's why it's perfect that he's trying to run for president, because that's what the United States of America needs. Another bullshit artist. All right, let's look at the comments here. Shaq is a casual, and it is embarrassing, says Stan. You know, Shaq is also cringe, by the way. Did you see that appearance when Shaq was on what's the girl's, geez, my brain's not working today. The freaking WNBA player who can't hit layups. What's her name again? I can't remember her name right now. It's not Caitlin Clark. It's the other one. See, I'm having a Shaq moment. But when he was on her podcast, the one who looks like she's from Ice Age, geez Christ, how do I not remember her name right now? But when she was on there, when he was on there with her, and he was being super creepy. Man, my camera is really struggling today. Holy crap. Yeah, Reese. He was being so creepy. And that's what Shaq is. He's a creep. He's a big old creep. He's also one of the most dominant centers ever to play basketball, and one of the best players of all time. Like Shaq, I loved watching Shaq, but he's a creep. And I think that's part of like what's hard when we idolize athletes or idolize celebrities. It's like a lot of these people are creeps. They're not people that you would want to be friends with or want to associate yourself with. But because they're really good at basketball, you don't think of it that way. And that's why I feel like you should never meet your heroes, because I feel like a lot of these people that are in the public eye are messed up. Like the majority of them are. I feel like we've talked about this in the past as well. But I just feel like the majority of anyone who's gotten to be like a celebrity is messed up. Perfect Serial says, rank the embarrassing clips from this week. Stephen A. That was very embarrassing. No, sorry, Draymond. I don't know why I said Stephen A. when we literally just talked about Stephen A. Stephen A. was embarrassing. Draymond, though, was even more embarrassing, because it was embarrassing to the core of talking shit about someone and saying that they're not ready to play when in fact they are going to a funeral. That is embarrassing on like a whole nother level. It's not even just embarrassing because you're being an idiot. It's embarrassing like on a whole nother level. It's like on a level you should never cross, is what Draymond did, which is what he kind of does all the time, and why Draymond's just another one of these dickheads who also will probably find himself in the media chair. He's already found himself in the media chair many a time. People still tune into his bullshit podcast. This shows you what works. This is the formula, everybody. Be an idiot and be an asshole. I think that's the formula. No Stephen A. face for filter, says John. I don't have one, John. I gotta try to find one. Top Shot Hot Shots here. He says hello, buddy. So anyway, yeah, that's like the biggest story of the week is Stephen A., which is ridiculous. But let's see, what else can we talk about? There is some Top Shot stuff going on. We can talk Top Shot for a minute. We had a pack drop, I believe it was yesterday, right? And it was the Throwdowns pack drop. So we can go check it out. We can go look at it through my messed up browser. And we see that, again, I feel like last week we were in a similar position where the rare pack sold out very quickly. And then there's the chance packs that have not. And we have our challenges here. I got to admit, from a design perspective, I don't know who these challenges are at a glance. I got to kind of zoom in. We got Wells, Shannon, Daniels, and Grimes as our challenges right there. We got our lock set airdrops. We got our fast break promo. And I don't know, actually, we'll talk about this in a second because people are talking about new users. We talked about that last week too. But so yeah, the rare pack sold out very quickly, and it was 3 guaranteed rares. Was it 3? Or you could hit 3. Hold on, I forget. But this is the original pack was 49, and now it's selling for 64. So they keep the pack prices pretty good lately in terms of a flipper. I don't know if it's a great pack price if you just want to collect or not. But yeah, you had 3 rares guaranteed. So if we go look to see if this was like a no-brainer pack or not, we can go take a look. If we go look at the rares, these are the rares. So it's hard to say this is a no-brainer pack when, we got some $15 rares, some $9, $8 rares. That's the Steph Curry Throwdown Challenge Reward. It's $87. This was a great moment right here, the 50K celebratory moment from LeBron. I think that's great. I love the thumbnail as well. And if you watch it, it's just really nicely curated as well. Max Christie is an interesting rare right there in that breakout set. But if you keep on looking, though, through these throwdown moments, you can see that as of now, it does look to be a pretty decent value. If it was, I think it was 2 guaranteed throwdowns? And then the last one was a breakout. Is that what it was? Now I got to check again. Hold on. Let's check one more time. One more time. Let's go look at the drop again. It was 2 throwdowns. Okay, yeah. So it was 2 guaranteed throwdowns, and the third one was a breakout. So the breakout rares, those are obviously like kind of normally bench player type of players, or just players that this is literally their first rare on the platform. So you got to think that this is the season. That's why it's called breakout, that they're doing something worth receiving a rare. But those breakout rares are 9, and the throwdowns, it looks like they are anywhere from 10 to about, I don't know, 12. Kaminga's 30 right now. That's probably because of the challenges ended, right? Let's call it like 25. So yeah, I mean, you could do okay. I just think it's still a result, though, of people who just cannot get enough of ripping packs. And we talked about this in the past. Like, if that's what you're into, go for it. Stan wants a let's simp. Okay. I don't know. What are we simping about? Because I said the packs are decent. Let's simp. All right, Stan, this is just for you.
Let's simp.
Let's simp. Let's simp.
Let's simp. Let's simp. Let's simp.
But yeah, Stan also said it depends on how quickly the ultimates were pulled, the pack price. Yeah, that's true. And it is kind of insane too, because like your chances of hitting those ultimates are so small, but just that tiny chance just bumps up that price of those packs by so much, because people love ripping packs and people love chasing. And I mean, look, it's exactly what happens in physical. I mean, they literally just did this when LeBron hit the 50,000 moment, 50,000 points tops. Now they made all these chromatic variations, and of the LeBron with a 1 of 1 that includes a piece of his jersey or something, and every one of those bases was going to sell for like $10 each. And at the end of the day, those bases are probably going to be worth what, like less than $1. But it's all to try to hit those limited editions, and they made so many of those little limited editions, like 1 of 1, and then 5 of 5, and 10 of 10, and 20 of 20, and 30 and 40 and 50, and like that's just the way you play the game, and that's obviously what Top Shot is doing, and it's successful. If you look at it that way, it is successful. LB says, I think that next year, if they try really, really hard, they may be able to sell 4 rare packs for $49. Well, that will be a negative, won't it? If we're selling 4 rare packs for $49, that will mean the value of the rares have dropped. LB says, I'm breaking out, but it ain't with third-year players. Well, buddy, You got to get a medication for that one. John says LeBron 50K 1 and 23 are somehow still in packs. Yeah, that's why those packs still have a bit of a premium, don't they? And Matic is here saying smoke some. Do we have like a kind of a stonery video for Matic? Matic, this is for you, buddy. That's Matic when he smokes enough weed and then goes outside. Anyway, let's keep it going here. What else do we want to talk about? So yeah, in terms of the rares after the fact, relatively healthy. It's in a relatively healthy spot, I would say. What we can do next, though, is talk a little bit about we can talk about a little bit about new users, because that seems to continue to be a hot topic. It's a hot topic talking about new users. And if you look at the live token bot, which you can see with me right over here, we got an increase in sales. The gross what's that? The value? I don't know what this is actually, the GMV, but that's down. Sellers are up, buyers are up, and new users are up 500% from the previous week. 3,588 new users. That is a lot of new users. That is a lot of new users. And so, understandably, you see people in the comments saying like, what? Where are all these new users? What are they doing on the platform? And this guy also is a bit of a skeptic. I'd like to verbally hear from at least 100 of these users on social media. At least 100. Geez, big slim dog. Big slim gods, I should say. Big slim gods. He loves French onion soup, and he hates wearing a shirt. The Mad Asker also not so sure. He's believing these 3,500 new user numbers, but I think the answer lies in this video that James shared right here. And I think if we go ahead ourselves and we go look at it as well, if we share this tab instead and we look at all, you're probably going to see quite a few user XYZs. Although right now, no, because we just had a pack drop. But look, user XYZ, right? He just got a Paul Pierce moment. User XYZ, right? If we keep on looking, well, I actually thought we'd see more user. There we go. Scholarly Bengal Tiger. Koku, user. So we know who these people are, basically. They're these new users that come here to rip a pack. And that's all they do. They come here to rip a Paul Pierce pack. And the way that they're getting those Paul Pierce packs is through NBA ID. NBA ID has a promotion over the next week, I think, about like giving back to the fans or something of that nature. And that's what this is a part of. So that's where these 3,500, camera's going crazy again. That's where these 3,500 users are coming from. And I think that's what we said last week too. It's coming from NBA ID. The best possible explanation is it's coming from NBA ID. And that actually made me want to look at one other thing together, which is if you go to NBA Top Shot and you're on the unauthorized page, which is this page, this is the page that you see when you are a brand new user. So a lot of you have probably not seen this page in a very long time because you get to the website and you're logged in. But this is what it looks like. And it's actually really improved. And I know the people that worked on this, or at least a couple of them. And the big banana, as they like to say in online marketing, is like the button that they want you to click. And it's right in your face, right there. Claim your free pack. And that is converting very well, apparently, a lot better than the previous versions of this page. And look at that. It even has this funny little thing where you can shift it around. That's kind of cool. I never even knew you could do that. But anyway, you basically have one call to action and it's right there. It's claim your pack and that's it. That's the call to action. And apparently it's working a lot better than the previous iterations. And then that's just another reason I think why we're seeing more new users, because the conversion rate is better. So you have, not only do you have a successful in terms of new wallets, new users campaign happening right now with NBA ID, you also have an improved unauthed, as they say, homepage for NBA Top Shot. Now, the biggest question, of course, and that's what everyone is asking so eagerly in the comments, is what else are these new users doing? And I think that as of now, not very much. They're getting their moment and forgetting. And so that is like the biggest gap that the people who are working on this on NBA Top Shot have to try to figure out, which is, how do you take someone who literally just opens a free pack, opens a free moment, and basically never comes back, or just doesn't really have much of an incentive at the moment to come back? And how do you get them to come back? And how do you get them to understand the value proposition of NBA Top Shot? How do you get them to see the comparison between collecting digital versus collecting physical? How do you get them to understand that you can win free stuff by playing Fast Break? How do you do all that? Because sometimes, like, it seems easy to us because we get it. But I think if you think through and you think through, like, somebody sitting in that seat who really doesn't know anything about this stuff and literally is just an NBA.com user who checks box scores or something like that, and then you expect that person to all of a sudden get it, you could start to understand why it's a bit of a learning curve. And it's not easy. And that's what I think, that's obviously where a lot of resources need to go. That's where a lot of focus needs to go. That's where a lot of testing needs to get done. A lot of iteration needs to get done. You know, I have ideas. I sometimes shoot some ideas, even though I'm currently external, but I do shoot some ideas, and I'd like to see that area obviously improve. And I think everyone else would too. So let's see what's going on in the chat. LB says 3,000 Boston-based multi-accounts. Could be. Maddox says it could be one dude with 3,500 wives. That's true. Not China. When China. John says if Top Shot stuck with that email guy they had for a bit, they'd be converting these users to buy our sweet S2s. Now we're talking, John. Now we're talking. Those were the days when there was that one guy doing the email, and oh man, those were good days, weren't they? LB says it's really cool that two people came up with the idea to make a bigger free pack button. They sound pretty smart. You know, LB, you'd be surprised how much work goes into that kind of stuff. Like, yeah. Anyway, let's keep it going. What else do we have to talk about today? All right, we look at packs. Oh, you know what? We could set our fast break lineup. You want to do that? Let's do our fast break lineup. That's always fun. Let's do our fast break lineup. Should we get some like fast break music going? Do I have any music we could play? Let's see. Let's just do some Kendrick Lamar. Our fast break lineup. All right. I lost yesterday by 1 3-point made. I think the other day I also lost by 1. Yeah, look at that. I lost by 1 blocks. I've gotten tandied twice in this run. I should be undefeated. Look at that. I should be undefeated. Oh my God. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9? No, 8. I should have 8. I should have 8 wins right now. I should have 8 wins. How many people have 8 wins? Oh, quite a bit, actually. This should also be easier to do. This doesn't feel right. This is too janky. Well, yeah, I guess a lot of people have 8 wins. Oh well. Now let's do it anyway. All right, so here we are. What do we need? We need field goals made. Who do we want? Giannis, if he's playing, is a pretty easy one. Zion, if he's playing as well. But see, I don't know if these are updated. Now I got to go to RotoWire and check. Let's go check. RotoWire. Is Zion playing, Mr. RotoWire? It's a game time decision for Giannis, but he's likely. Zion is playing. So why don't we use Zion? Go to my boy France. Might as well, right? Zach LaVine kind of has been on a tear lately. Is he playing? Let's go look. is playing. All right. Who else? Man, Lakers don't have anybody. If Doncic doesn't play, that is a weak lineup right there. I feel like Detroit could definitely put up some points. But I've already used my Cade. I don't have a rare Cade. Let's just do... Let's get our boy France. And let's get our... Get DeMar, why not? All right. There we go. There's our fast break lineup. Put it on a beat. Oh. Stan wants me to freestyle. You know that most of those freestyles, by the way, are always pre-written too. All right, let's go to the pro version. 30 assists. Questionable. Ruled out. Questionable. Ruled out. Look at that. All the best players are ruled out, basically. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know who'd even play, to be honest. Austin Reeves, Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler. I don't even know, dude. Paulo. There we go. Where's Schroeder, by the way? It's all the way down here, huh? I forgot that Schroeder's on the Pistons now. That might be a sneaky pick. Is he starting? No, he's not. All right, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. It's pro. All right, so that's it. That's fast break for you. Okay. All right. Let's turn off the Kendrick Lamar music. All right, thank you to Kendrick Lamar for demonetizing my video. Bobby says this run has been scuffed with all the injuries. 100%. Jules is back. Jules hasn't been on here for a long time. Jules, how's it going? How's I imagine marriage? How's marriage, Jules? It's been fine. Top Shot's been fine, Jules. You gotta go watch all the back episodes on double speeds and get caught up. Married is overrated. Don't I know it, Jules? Don't I know it? Let's see. OTM NFT. Should we go look at that? Is this going to answer Jules's question? Let's go. Let's go look at this for Jules. Jules wants to know about the market, the Top Shot market. Should we take a look? So this is over the last day. What about, let's do last 7 days. So active users are up. That's a green number. Pack sellers are up. Are new users not up? They don't have new users here, huh? I mean, it looks overall, it looks okay, right? The problem with looking at market cap though is that you're adding to the market cap when you do pack drops. That's what's so hard to get a good idea of like what's actually going on, right? Yeah, over the last week, market cap has dipped ever so slightly. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's a good way to give you like a Top Shot State of the Union address at a glance. Because like I said, market cap goes up. Market cap, I would think market cap should always go up because you keep on adding to it. But obviously it doesn't always go up. It also dips. And we've seen that in the past. But if you draw like a straight line, we are trending up from 90 days ago, I guess, until now. So I guess you could say that things are positive in that sense. I mean, if you talk about things that have nothing to do with market cap, then I still think the Top Shot's in a pretty good place. But obviously, most of the people in this chat have been here from the very strong speculation days, and like when values aren't up, they ain't too happy. But I think Top Shot's doing Like Top Shot's pretty stable, is what I would say at the moment. And always adding new stuff too. I'm about to have to play the Let's Simp video. But I think that Top Shot is pretty stable, pretty predictable. You know what's coming. You know what packs are coming. You know when airdrops are coming. So if you enjoy playing that game and you enjoy playing Fast Break, then I don't think there's much right now in Top Shot to like get upset about, which is good. I think if you think about back to like previous years, there were often things to get upset about. And I think that Top Shot's done pretty well in that regard. I think that they keep shipping new stuff. We actually saw recently that they just shipped something about the pinned moments. You can now easily share that on Twitter, which is kind of fun. Like always improving little by little. Maddox says, does your new wife have a Top Shot? It says, yes, she has 4 accounts. Better than my 401k. Jules married a real one, says Maddox. Perfect Zero says, the Top Shot marketplace needs tariffs. Now we got a smart guy, Perfect Cereal. This guy knows what he's talking about. If you want to make the market go up, you gotta slap the tariffs on. Any player from Europe, we're gonna make their moment 200% more expensive. That's right. And then we're gonna give all those tax savings on those moments back to the good old Americans, the people of Top Shot from the US&A. Stan says this man is lying. Top Shot is down bad. I don't know. I mean, Stan, I'm not simping right now. You think Top Shot's down bad? I don't know why. Like, I need to better understand why you think Top Shot's down bad. It's down bad if you think about what it was like 4 years ago. It's not down bad if you think what it's been like, in previous series. I don't think it's down bad. But what do I know? Springer says communication is definitely improved. Perfect Zero says the new features are consistently solid. And Badawine says, when U.S. government strategic MOM reserve? That's what we're waiting for, Badawine. All of us are waiting for the Top Shot moment reserve. Any day now, it's coming. That's what David Sachs, if you read the tea leaves of his Twitter account, it definitely feels like it's coming. What else you guys want to talk about? We did Fast Break. We talked about the new packs. Michelle Obama released a podcast. You want to talk about that? There was something weird about that video. Did you guys see that video? When Michelle Obama is talking with her brother? Is she a twin? Does anybody know if Michelle Obama is a twin? There's something strange about this video. I can't quite put my finger on it. Let me show it to you. Here. Like, is it just me or does her brother look like a bald woman? Not that there's anything wrong with that. But I think that's probably what I thought was weird about that video. Anyway. Stan says, who's your MVP? Jules says, I can't unsee that. Whoa, Jules, calm down. Who's my MVP? Isn't Jokic like putting on ungodly numbers? Don't you kind of have to say Jokic? I think you have to say Jokic. I think like the sports media talking heads probably don't want to, but I feel like you kind of have to. SGA, you could make an argument for him, but I think if you go by the stats, if you go by like the domination on his respective team, I think that Jokic is kind of the clear answer. And he just put up a 30, 20, and 20. This guy just plays on a totally different level. And SGA is a free throw merchant. That's what everyone has against him. And I think that it's legit. He is a free throw merchant because that works right now. And I thought the NBA was trying to cut down on that, by the way. I remember when James Harden would get all his points from the stripe, and then they were supposed to reduce that. And it was supposed to hurt players like James Harden and Trae Young and Brunson, these kind of foul merchants. And it seems like SGA is doing just fine getting to the line. So I don't know, but the point is that it's going to be a tough one because I think people are going to want to vote for SGA because they probably don't want to vote for Jokic yet again. They want to vote for a new face. They want to vote for the guy who's leading the young team into a kind of success that they've never seen before, right? So like we can go check again. Let's just see like what's going on in the standings right now. So it's already showing the playoff picture, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, the Thunder are the number 1 seed. They have 54 wins compared to the Cavs who have 55. And the Cavs are really kicking ass. I mean, it's pretty damn impressive. In their last 10, they're 10-0. I didn't even realize that. And they've won 15 straight games. The Cavs are for real. I didn't share my screen. The Cavs have won 15 straight and they're 10-0 in their last 10 games. It's unbelievable. 30-4 record at home. I mean, they are really getting it done. And if you go on the West side, the Thunder also way ahead of the 2 seed. I mean, the Nuggets now find themselves tied for the 2 seed, which is pretty cool. Technically, they're the 3, but with the Grizzlies. And it's still surprising to me, by the way, the Lakers are number 4. The West is just a strange, jumbled up bracket, if you ask me. None of these teams, other than I would expect in the beginning of the season, the Nuggets to be near the top and the Thunder to be better than they were last year. But I did not expect this. The Thunder and the 1, the Grizzlies 2. Then the Nuggets, Lakers, Rockets, and Warriors. The Rockets are still a complete head scratcher. That's crazy that they're doing this well. I would have thought the T-Wolves would have been better. Clippers, you always think the Clippers are going to potentially have a good year. Mavericks, of course, is the biggest shit show of the decade. And on something to talk about the Mavericks, by the way, their GM gave a speech recently, and he was talking about trading Luka Doncic. We can check that out. What an idiot. You can tell that oh shit, I wasn't sharing. Let's start that again. I guess I'm the idiot. Hold on.
What's going through your mind? How did you frame a decision of such magnitude like this?
So tough decisions are never easy.
All right. So that's like I feel like right then and there is enough of the video, right? The first 10 seconds. Look at what an idiot. And look, he like looks out into the crowd too to be like, all right, I'm stupid.
You frame a decision of such magnitude like this.
By the way, it's also probably better if we play this in slow motion so we can pretend he's a drunk.
So tough decisions are never easy.
What a dumbass. Tough decisions are never easy. So I watched it so you don't have to. But he pretty much said that, like, look, tough decisions are never easy. And last year, I'll have you know that when the trade deadline happened, the Mavericks got better. Okay? I'll have you know that. Last year, maybe I got to make him Trump now. Last year when the Mavericks, we had the trade deadline and we did very well. We did beautifully. We weren't doing so well. And then the trade deadline happened. And then we were doing beautifully. We were strong. We had a great chance. We were huge. We got to the finals and, we couldn't get it done. So what do we have to do? It's to say goodbye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Luka, sorry, bye-bye. You're a loser. You couldn't win the finals, so you gotta go. You're a loser. Goodbye. So that's why we fired Luka Doncic and we brought on the glass man, the man made of glass. We brought on the man made of glass, Anthony Davis. So yeah, what an idiot. He's so stupid, man. He's trying to say that because they had a good trade deadline last year, you should trust his trade deadline decisions this year. Yeah. That doesn't work when you trade the best player on your team for an often injured Anthony Davis. It just doesn't make any sense. Nothing this guy says will ever make sense about why you trade Luka Doncic away. nothing he says will ever make sense. Unless it's like what the Red Sox did when they traded Mookie Betts, which also was idiotic. But I think that normally what happens when these teams trade their best players, it's because they think they're going to lose them in free agency for nothing. And as far as I know, that was not the case with Luka Doncic. So it's just pure idiocy that whatever this guy did, whatever ulterior motive that this guy had. I read some conspiracy that it's about like they wanted to create a they want to like move arenas and have a huge casino, or I didn't really read into it too much, but if it's some stupid thing like that where you literally screw over your fan base because you just want to buy a bigger yacht, then you are a certified asshole and idiot. Let's see. He said it was a long-term move, contradicting Nico, who said it was a short-term move. They don't even have their story straight. Look, the Mavs, I feel really bad for Mavericks fans. And I know there's a couple of them who watch the show. I know 3Ball, the collected and connected maestro, is a big-time Mavericks fan. So is King Brett. And I feel for those two. Because it really sucks to have an ownership that just makes decisions completely against the better interest of their fan base. Just completely. And we've seen this in other sports before. That's really sad. So, what else do you guys want to talk about? I guess like do you want to talk about the SGA logo? I mean, it's a pretty stupid story. But I'm running out of things. Although we only have like 10 minutes left. But this right here, okay? This is so stupid also. So apparently, after the Thunder won, Converse, who has SGA, which already is a red flag. Like, what basketball players are signed to Converse? Anyway, they started displaying SGA's logo on different landmarks in Boston, which also I think is kind of a dick move, by the way. And also, it's just a regular season game. Like, really? You celebrating like you won the championship? Come on, guys. Act like you've been there. But this is the logo. And I saw this, and I was like, what the hell is that? What is that? That looks like I wrote that it looks like sheet music, you know, when it's like falsetto or whatever. Like when I used to play piano when I was like 11 years old, I remember, right? For the left hand and the right hand has these little things that look like this. Like, oh, maybe SGA is like a musician or something. And it just looks like shit. I don't see an S or a G or an A. I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be. Is this supposed to be like a little what's it called? Like those Grim Reaper blades, one on the top and one on the bottom. So then I went to go look it up and to look up what the hell this logo is supposed to be. And apparently what it is, first of all, it deserves to note that guess who designed this logo? SGA designed this logo. That's who designed this logo. SGA. It wasn't an artist. It was SGA. And it's just a 2 at the top and a 2 at the bottom. And then that's it. It's a 2 at the top and a 2 at the bottom that are overlaid over each other to make like Bobby just said here, a 2 reversed mirror. This is such an ugly logo. And I think that this shows you what happens when you let someone with like a big ego walk in the room and being like, I'm the designer here. I know what's better. This is what you end up with. This is what happens when you let somebody who just thinks that they can design because they drew it in a notebook. This is what you end up with. And it's funny because this is what often happens if you do like anybody who is familiar with web design, for example. Everybody thinks they're a web designer. Anyone who does web design or anything with design, everyone else thinks that they have the authority to tell you what looks good. And the problem is there's designers who literally go to school for this kind of stuff. And then somebody like SGA walks in with his big old chinchilla jacket and his big old like red boot, cartoony red boots or something. And he strolls in there and he's like, no, this is what the logo is going to be. And everyone's like, okay, SGA, sure. Yeah, of course. Yep. Looks great, SGA. Licking those red boots. And then this is what happens. This is what the final product ends up looking like. Anyway, I think that's kind of poetic in a way. The SGA is he's trying to get the MVP this year. A lot of people think that he's a foul merchant. I think people are kind of disliking SGA because of that. And then this logo is just given another reason not to like it. Not to like SGA because his logo sucks. Sorry, Jared. Sorry to the other Thunder fans, but this logo is straight trash. All right, let's look at the chat. Clay Bennett did the same thing leaving Seattle. He traded Ray Allen, Rashard Lewis, scorched earth. Yeah, exactly. We've seen this done before. Stan says, when Judge as guest. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Judge said on Twitter, he's like, I'm celebrating my #1 cereal, and I'm very happy, and I think this deserves a podcast, and we're going to stream together again. I feel like we've seen Judge do that about 500 times. This deserves bring the show back. And then he'll do like one stream and you won't hear from him again for 7 months. I love SGA, said Bob DeWine. Springer says, I don't like this Canadian bashing. I'm sorry, Springer. A+ Judge impersonation, says Jules. Thank you, Jules. Stan wants the fist bump. Let's give it to him. Let's give Stan the fist bump. We cannot have a Tandy time without showing Stan loves the fist bump.
So, I appreciate it. Yeah, man, that was an awkward fist bump. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. Just gonna clip that. It's gonna go viral. Jesus Christ. No, I appreciate it. It was weird.
Oh, yeah. God, I just drank some water. You know when it goes down like the wrong pipe? So here's a story for you all. My wife was out today, and she went to this store that has a lot of snacks, a lot of interesting snacks. So I thought I'd show you my haul. Should we go look at some snack? Should we look at my snack haul? She asked me, what do I want? I told her I want the white chocolate Reese's Cups. This is what she brings me back. I don't know about you, but I don't see any white chocolate there. These are called Reese's Rounds. And not only that, but I bought these Reese's Rounds before, and the peanut butter tastes like an SGA logo. Tastes like straight cheeks. So I told her, I don't want those rounds. So we're not even going to taste test those because the peanut butter tastes like shite. Here's the next thing she brought. Nutrageous. I actually tried this and it was really good. It actually kind of has a little bit of a Reese's Pieces taste in there somehow. And that to me makes it a winner. So Nutrageous, solid choice. Though still was not white chocolate Reese's Cups. And that's what I asked for. So 4 out of 10 in terms of Reese's execution. Then she asked me, do I want jerky? I said, yes, I want jerky. So here's what jerky we got. We got some Jack Link's sweet and hot jerky. The problem with this jerky is it's too good. And these bags, you open the bag and there's like so little of it in there. And you're hungry, you end up wanting to eat the silica packet. But you can't eat the silica packet because if you eat the silica packet, you die. Anyway, so we got the sweet and hot. And we got the original. Finally, she did bring one other item that she did not mention previous, right? She just showed up with it. Oh, here we go. This is a good call out. Not enough jerky in the bag. We need a supply drop. Very good call out, Perfect Cereal. Thank you. Stan says Tandy is an expert on nuts. I do like my nuts, Stan. I do like eating nuts. In fact, there's some nuts in Brazil that are quite good. They're called Japanese nuts, but they're fried on the outside, I think. They're like crispy fried on the outside, but they're delicious. But it's true. I do like nuts. Thank you, Stan. Thank you for calling that out. All right. And finally, we got this carbonara flavor. I don't know how much I trust ramen noodles that have carbonara flavor, but it is a hot chicken flavor. And the brand is called Buldak. And it looks like there's a little duck or pink, not a duck, maybe a chicken or a rooster, perhaps. Must be a rooster or chicken. A chicken, and it looks like he's sitting inside of like an orange gift box with his legs out. Kind of like he's taking a big old dump, if we're being honest. And that is the logo of the ramen. A chicken with a fork in his hand, sitting in a gift box, taking a big old dookie. But that's not important. What's important is if it tastes good. I mean, it looks pretty good. So we'll try that on another day and we'll see if it's good or not. And hopefully not too much indigestion. I mean, I'm sure if I start out with some beef jerky, sweet hot, and then follow that up with some chicken dookie, hot chicken ramen. Oh man, I'm going to be hurting. That's what I know. I'm going to be with some real stomach pain if that's what I do. And then maybe I'll top it off with these Reese's Rounds where the peanut butter tastes like ass. And then I don't know. I'll be in rough shape. Right. Okay, so Badawine knows it. He says they're good. And it has nothing to do with carbonara, but it's great. It's a bulldog race. Okay. NFT chicken. Your toilet is going to be grateful. Oh yeah, I mean that's what I think. If I do that, my toilet is going to have a lot of action. Sodium maxi. That is for damn sure. There's probably a lot of sodium here and probably a lot of sodium in that jerky too. How do I see how much sodium is in this bag? Where is it? It's all in different languages. I think it's in Badawine's language in here. Yeah, shit. I think this is from the Netherlands. The first language is Dutch. There's 3 grams per 100 grams salt. It's from Korea. I can't tell if they're packaging this up in next to Badawine's house. Seems like they might be. Wait, so that's not terrible then, right? 3 grams of salt? Is that it? 3 grams of salt out of 100 grams, and this is 130 grams. So that's a little over 3 grams of salt. That's not bad. I'm sure there's all types of weird shit in here, though. Palm oil is one of the first ones, of course. Got to kill some monkeys. Got to kill some orangutans if you want a good bowl of soup. That's what everybody knows. Everybody knows it. If you want some good Nutella or you want some good ramen noodles, you got to kill a few orangutans. Or else you just don't care enough if you're not killing orangutans. Yeah, they got the intensifiers of the flavor, the MSG. Of course, they have the MSG. Oh, we're over an hour. Look at that. Look at that. I'm proud of us. Thank you guys for being here. I had fun. Let's close it out with a little Weisberg singing us a little REM.
That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight. Losing my religion. Trying to keep up with you. And I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I've said too much. I haven't said enough.
Well, that'll do it for us, everybody. So thank you for tuning in. to yet another Tandy time. And to Stephen A. Smith,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
we don't care. We miss Max Kellerman, though. We care about Max Kellerman. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I don't know what we're looking out for in the next few days or the next week. Nothing in particular, but go have a white Reese's cup and tell me how you like it. And we will talk again soon. Thank you for being together and take care.
Static Selector.